Can you imagine someone selling a fake airport for $442 million to an international bank? One day, the chairman of Norwest Bank of Brazil received a call from Nigeria. The call was from someone claiming to be the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The bank's director was surprised to hear that the Nigerian governor had called. The governor said they were launching a big project, building an airport in the capital city, Abuja, which would cost $242 million. However, the investment was expected to yield profits greater than the amount invested within a year. The chairman was impressed and agreed to invest. But little did he know, the call was fake, made by a man named Emmanuel. The chairman of Norwest Bank of Brazil had no idea that this could be the biggest mistake of his life. But the question remains, who was Emmanuel? He was also a bank director at Union Bank of Nigeria. Although he wasn't short of money, he wanted to make a lot more quickly so he could live a luxurious life. Emmanuel had an idea. He thought, why not tempt an international bank with an investment offer and take millions of dollars? But getting such a large investment from any bank wasn't easy. Emmanuel formed a team of 5 people, all of whom were his friends, and impersonated the Nigerian governor to call Norwest Bank of Brazil. Emmanuel, with the help of his friends, sent a fax from a government machine to Nelson Sakaguchi, the chairman of Norwest Bank. Emmanuel told the chairman that if their deal was finalized, the Nigerian government would give them a $10 million commission. Sakaguchi agreed to the investment but requested a meeting to discuss the project details. Emmanuel insisted that the project remain a secret until it began and that the meeting should be held far away from Brazil and Nigeria. Sakaguchi had to go to London the following week, so the meeting location was set for London. Emmanuel and his team had a week to prepare, studying every detail to present a convincing plan. Emmanuel sent a luxurious car to pick up Sakaguchi from the airport and booked rooms in a 5-star hotel. In the meeting, Emmanuel, posing as the governor, provided the project details. Their preparations were so meticulous that Sakaguchi didn't suspect a thing. In 1999, due to a lack of information, Sakaguchi couldn't verify whether Emmanuel was truly the governor of Nigeria. Ready to invest, Sakaguchi promised that the bank would release the funds as soon as the project started. However, Emmanuel demanded that payments begin immediately to hire construction companies and purchase machinery. Sakaguchi started to have doubts, but the promise of a $10 million commission kept him interested. Emmanuel told him, either your bank makes the deal, or we'll find other banks ready to invest, and they'll get the $10 million commission. Sakaguchi quickly assured him that his bank was ready to invest. Emmanuel asked for a $3 million security deposit to be transferred within 2 days. Sakaguchi transferred the money the very next day. Emmanuel kept sending fake pictures of the airport, and Sakaguchi continued sending payments. Over the next year, Emmanuel managed to have Sakaguchi transfer a total of $242 million. Emmanuel then funneled the money through accounts in the United States, England, Hong Kong, and Switzerland, ultimately transferring it to Nigeria. He invested the funds across various countries. Even if Norwest Bank caught Emmanuel, they wouldn't be able to recover the money. Transactions under $6 million were Sakaguchi's responsibility, so he kept making transactions between $3 and $5 million. And no one at the bank suspected anything. Everything was running smoothly until something happened that Sakaguchi had never anticipated. In 1998, a Spanish bank called Santander acquired Norwest Bank, but the acquisition process was long as it involved calculating all the bank's assets. During this process, the management couldn't find any record of the $242 million, so they questioned Sakaguchi. With no other options, Sakaguchi confessed that he had invested the money in a Nigerian airport project without informing the bank's upper management. When the bank started tracking the transactions, they realized the money had been transferred to Nigeria through various countries. However, Nigeria's banking system wasn't strong enough for the bank to reach Emmanuel. The Spanish bank pressured the Nigerian government, and eventually they found Emmanuel. Emmanuel, for the first time, felt he was in danger, and his biggest weakness was his team. To save himself, Emmanuel had his friends killed in a staged road accident. Though Emmanuel was still free, Nigeria had no laws against financial fraud at the time. Meanwhile, Nelson Sakaguchi was on trial in Switzerland, where he was convicted of money laundering. Emmanuel continued to live a lavish life, but in 2003, not only did Nigeria's government change, but so did Emmanuel's life. The new Prime Minister of Nigeria implemented financial fraud laws. The Spanish bank, seizing the opportunity, filed a case against Emmanuel for the $242 million fraud. A police officer offered Emmanuel a deal: return $80 million, and his sentence would be reduced. However, Emmanuel tried to bribe the officer with $10 million. This time, luck wasn't on his side. Emmanuel eventually struck a deal with the police for $40 million, but the Spanish bank wasn't willing to let him off that easily. The bank launched attack after attack, and their next strike came in the form of Nelson Sakaguchi, who appeared in court with all the fake pictures and agreements, strengthening the bank's case. Emmanuel was now willing to return $80 million, but the Spanish bank increased its demand to $120 million. Emmanuel had no choice but to agree to pay the $120 million. The judge sentenced him to 5 years in prison, but the story didn't end there. Emmanuel, ever cunning, was released in less than 2 years. He made an agreement with the bank that they would take property worth $120 million, which he had purchased in various countries. However, the bank took more than $120 million worth of property to recover as much money as possible. Emmanuel sued the bank, then made another agreement, and was released from prison within 2 years. In the end, Emmanuel only paid $130 million of the $242 million he had defrauded and was freed for good, living a lavish life. I hope you enjoyed this story, friends. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel.